MTN Group Limited is a multinational telecommunication network that is based in South Africa. The company was the sixth largest company on the JSE at the end of December 2015. The aim of this business presentation is to analyze the company's corporate governance structure and framework in accordance with the King 3 report. The presentation will mainly focus on the four key areas in the company, which is ethical leadership, audit committees, stakeholders, and risk management.
Hello, I'm Timothy Mosing, and I will be discussing the theoretical background for MTN. The corporate governance framework of MTN is made up of 7 pillars, which are all in accordance with the principles of the King 3 report. The 7 pillars consist of leadership, legal and regulatory compliance, business practice and ethics, monitoring, oversight and risk management, performance management, disclosure, reporting and transparency, and stakeholder engagement and communication. The leadership of MTN consists of the board of directors. The board of directors are ultimately in charge of the control of the company and implementing the governance policies. The legal and regulatory compliance is that the group must comply with the relevant laws and standards for the industry it operates in. The board is responsible for implementing and monitoring the company's controls in order to comply with the relevant laws. Business practice and ethics. Ethical principles should be in place so that the board can set a good example for the employees in the management of MTN. Monitoring, oversight, and risk management. The group has internal controls in place to ensure that the group is governed effectively and ethically. These internal controls should be monitored by management, and it should be the focus of the board to ensure that risks are faced within the group and that they're identified and managed effectively. Performance management. The board should promote healthy and safe work environment for all its employees. It should promote operational targets which employees should be encouraged to meet in order to optimize performance and productivity. Disclosure, reporting, and transparency. The board should be providing the stakeholders with relevant and important information for them to enable them to make decisions. Stakeholder engagement and communication. It is the responsibility of the board to ensure that the stakeholders receive timely information and that any information concerning the group is communicated to the stakeholders on a regular basis.
Hi, I'm Talisha Pillay, and I will be discussing the 4 main focus areas of the corporate governance.
Ethical leadership. As discussed in King 3, it is the board's responsibility to ensure that there is responsible leadership and an ethical foundation. The 13 members of the board of directors are responsible for effective leadership of the company. The company acknowledges that the board should comprise of competent individuals who have sufficient expertise and qualifications to assist in the strategic decisions of the company and have appointed the members accordingly. The group strives to set an ethical tone in the company. The key values of the company are leadership, integrity, relationships, can-do, and innovation. The aim of effective leadership is to eliminate any conflicts of interest and to consider the interests of the company when making a decision. Risk management. Risk management is vital to any organization because it helps to identify and monitor risks affecting the company. This is one of the main duties of the Risk Management Committee of the company. In addition to its main duty, it is also responsible for ensuring compliance with prevailing legislation and other statutory requirements. Some of the key duties identified by the company's committee includes the following. The committee ensures that the company is compliant with the legislation and other statutory requirements, including the corporate governance framework. The committee aims to maintain and strengthen the risk in the company by continuously monitoring and managing the new and emerging risks. The committee also conducted reviews on the group's business continuity strategy and processes. Audit Committee. The Audit Committee comprises of 4 members, the Chairman and 3 other members. The members of the Audit Committee are suitably qualified for the positions that they hold in the committee. They are also independent, non-executive directors. MTN's Audit Committee duties involve safeguarding the assets of the group, as well as monitoring and overseeing the financial systems and controls. Other duties include preparation of the financial statements and reviewing the competence and performance of the Chief Financial Officer, as well as reviewing the independence and objectivity of the joint external auditors. With regards to the preparation of the report, the Audit Committee ensures the integrity of the report and applies its collective mind to its preparation and presentation. Stakeholders. Stakeholders are vital to any company or organization, as the overall assessment provided by a stakeholder results in the formation of a corporate reputation. The company strives to ensure that it considers the concerns and interests of the stakeholders when making any business decisions. By acknowledging the concerns and interests of stakeholders, as it does not only improve the stakeholder relationship, but it also creates new business opportunities and helps to anticipate and mitigate the risks effectively and efficiently. Since the company has a large number of stakeholders, the company has classified the various stakeholders into groups so that it is easier to identify material issues involved, as well as the channels of engagement appropriate to each group. The groups are customers, employees, investors, suppliers, agents, and strategic partners. The company has a stakeholder conscious governance model which specifically focuses on the communication and responses to the stakeholders' concerns and interests, which ensures accountability for the company.
As I discussed previously, I focused on the 4 main focus areas, which was ethical leadership, risk management, audit committee, and stakeholder relationships. When looking at the background, we looked at all the internal control procedures and measures that the group had in place to get an understanding of what was happening in the company so that we could evaluate it against the King 3 report to see whether there was compliance or non-compliance. Now we will be moving on to the analysis of the corporate governance structure in the group.
I will be discussing the 3 principles of ethical leadership in accordance with King 3. The analysis of ethical leadership. Principle 1.1. The board should provide effective leadership based on an ethical foundation. The board takes responsibility for strategic and ethical decision making. The group has a sound ethical committee in place that has outlined its duties. The ethical tone is developed and carried out from the top levels of management to lower levels of management, and therefore MTN complies. Principle 1.2. The board should ensure that the company is and is seen to be a responsible corporate citizen. The Social and Ethics Committees ensures a safe environment, health, and public safety, and has also implemented an anti-fraud training program. During the 2015 financial year end, 335.4 million rand was spent on CSI projects that has benefited over 200,000 beneficiaries, and therefore MTN complies. Principle 1.3. The board should ensure that the company's ethics are managed effectively. The group uses a reporting framework to ensure that the internal and external ethics performance is aligned with the ethical standards of the entity, and yet again MTN complies.